We have very tragic news coming in at the moment of 6 children who have died and dozen other children who have been injured in an accident that took place in Haryana. We're talking about a school bus that overturned near a village in Haryana's Narnaul this morning. The school was functioning despite a holiday for Eid. Now the bus which belonged to a public school, we're talking about GL public school, and this bus that overturned this morning near the village of Kanina. The district education officer said that there were 6 children who were killed in the crash. Also, the cause of the accident is not known yet, but officials have the documents which show that the buses, this is the fitness certificate. Regarding the fitness certificate, there are questions that are being raised because that fitness certificate had expired 6 years ago in 2018, and yet the bus was functioning. It was carrying children of a school, the GL public school. This accident that's taken place, most schools are shut today on the occasion of Eid-ul-Fitr, but this school was functioning, and the cause of what really happened during the time of the accident continues to be unknown. Many questions being asked. Of course, the parents there, many kids are injured and are in the hospital. 6 children have died in this very tragic news that has come from Haryana's Narnaul this morning. So visuals on your screen of that bus that overturned in Narnaul. We're talking about a village in Narnaul. This is near the Unhani village of Kanina, in which this bus that was carrying close to many children were on that bus. As you can see, very dramatic visuals surfacing of what really happened is yet to be known. Authorities are yet to brief the families as well as the others about as to what really transpired and what really caused the bus to overturn in Haryana's Narnaul. But from what we are hearing and from what we are seeing is that 6 children who were on that bus, perhaps going to school this morning, and that is when this bus overturned and those 6 children have died. We don't know much about the school children yet, and we will get you more information as that emerges. But here are visuals of that GL private school bus in Narnaul in Haryana, which overturned this morning. The bus had many school kids on board, and it is when this accident that took place, a crash that happened in which 6 children have died and dozen other children have been injured. So a school bus carrying kids to school meets with this accident, overturns this morning in Narnaul in a village. This is near Kanina, a village called Unhani, where this accident really took place. The school was functioning despite it being a holiday. Today is Eid. Most schools are not functional, but this school was operational, which is why this bus was carrying those children to school. The bus, which belonged to a GL public school, went and met with this crash, this bus that overturned. What really led to that is what is awaited. Reports are awaited. Many details are awaited on what really caused this very tragic news coming in from Haryana's Narnaul, where 6 little children going to school met with their fate, met with an accident. When this bus overturned, they have lost their lives. We have Gurpreet joining us to get us more on this. Gurpreet, first and foremost, what really caused this accident? Even though it's a holiday for Eid, this particular school was still functioning. How old were the children who have died, and how many in all have sustained injuries?
Well, the police have already initiated an investigation into this case, and what we have learned from the top police officers from Narnaul, they say during the preliminary investigation, it was revealed by one of the police officer. He says it seems that it could be case of drunken driving, and driver was drunk when this accident had taken place. And now they are also investigating. They say in the preliminary investigation, it has been revealed by the local resident that this vehicle had been rammed into a tree, and after that it has been overturned. And during this investigation, they have also learned around 20 to 25 children. The students, they were in the bus at that time. And what we have learned from the local district education officer, he says the death toll has already reached 6 students have already lost their life, and now they are trying to shift all the other several injured students from the local hospital to various hospitals as per their medical condition. Now, the investigation has already been
significant piece of news that you are bringing to our viewers is the fact that the driver was drunk at the time of the accident, and that is what authorities in Narnaul in Haryana have in fact made it known, that it was the driver who was drunk and it was a case of drunken driving.
Well, yes, of course, we had a word with the police officer also. They say during the preliminary investigation, it has been learned that the driver was drunk, and that could be possible reasons why he was driving at a high speed, and the vehicle was at a very, very high speed, and he was not able to control because he was not in the senses, and that could be possible reasons why this accident had taken place. Now, they are trying to look into all the aspects to find out why the guidelines which has been laid by the Haryana government as well as for the private school buses, why these norms are not being followed properly, and this has cost to life of 6 students who have already lost their life, and that we have seen around 12 students they got serious injuries who have been shifted to various hospitals for the medical treatment as per their medical condition. So let's wait for the proper investigation and inquiry which has already been initiated by the local administration.
Gurpreet, of course, a repeat offender. When we talk about this particular bus driver, when we talk about the fitness certificate of the bus that wasn't, renewed, it had expired 6 years ago, back in 2018. Is there anybody on the ground that you've spoken to, an eyewitness, perhaps a CCTV footage that's emerged from the time of the accident? Any word from the authorities given as to what really happened at the time?
Well, yes, we all learned from the local people. They were the one who had taken initiative for saving and rescue operation, and after that, the authorities had come into scene. Now, what we have learned from the local residents, they say the bus was at very high speed, and we have seen the police official. They have already confirmed the driver was drunk at the time when he was driving this bus. So now they are trying to find out all the angles into this, that why this fitness certificate has not been renewed, and they are trying to look up all the angles to find out why the norms are not being properly followed by the bus driver as well as the local authority, and specifically the school authorities, when they are well aware of all these guidelines which have been made by the Haryana government to find out these buses can only carry children and they should follow the set of norms. Why these norms are not being properly followed, that is the part of investigation which has already been initiated, and the local residents say the bus was at high speed, and the police have already confirmed the driver was drunk at the time when the accident had taken place. So let's wait for the proper investigation, how the investigation will be carried out and what will be finally come.
Gurpreet, what kind of checks are in place when they hire drivers for school buses? I mean, of course, the bus perhaps was owned by the school. We're talking about the GL public school in Narnaul. What kind of checks are put into place? What kind of checks are put as far as the functioning of the bus is concerned? I mean, this seems to be a case of drunken driving, but also if a bus doesn't have a fitness certificate, there could be a problem perhaps also to do with the bus itself, and that wasn't the case in this particular accident, but it could have also led to an accident.
Well, yes, of course, there is a set of guidelines which had been given to the school authority by the Haryana government, and they are supposed to follow, and if they are going to hire any bus and if they are going to allow any bus to carry the students from the various locations to the school, they are supposed to follow all these guidelines. During the preliminary investigation, as we have seen that there is no fitness certificate which has been obtained by the driver and the school authorities before running this bus on the road. So all these angles are being previewed, and they are also looking into all these aspects so that they will be able to understand that what were the irregularities which were not properly being followed, and the norms of the authorities which has been laid for the school buses. As of now, it seems that it's the clear case of drunken driving, because during the preliminary investigation, the police have already confirmed to NDTV also. They are saying that driver was drunk at that time, and that could be possible reasons why he has rammed this bus into the tree, and finally this bus was at high speed. That could be possible reason why this bus has been overturned. But now, because the initial investigation has also revealed that...
Gurpreet, what time did this accident take place? It must have been very early in the morning, perhaps taking the kids to school. And also get us a slight information regarding the 6 kids who have died. How old were they?
Well, what we have learnt from the local residents, they say this accident had been taken place at about 8 a.m. in the morning, and immediately after that they have seen the students which were in the bus. They were of the various classes, that is not specifically the one age group which was being taken to the school. Now they are saying that immediately at 8 a.m. when they have learned that one bus had overturned, immediately local residents, they had reached there at the spot. They started conducting the rescue operation. They informed the authorities, and finally the authorities, they had also come into scene, and these students are being taken to the local hospital for the first aid. Now all these angles which we are discussing at this point of time, that is the part of investigation which the administration claims they have already initiated. What we have learned, we had a word with the education minister also. She says that she is going to visit the spot. They are trying to find out all the facts on the record, and the life of 6 children which has been lost in the accident, that is the unfortunate incident which has taken place. Now they are trying to take all the action against the school authorities which they had violated, and why this school has been opened on the national holiday. That is the one of the major question which is being raised over the school authorities, why they did not even why they were running this school on this holiday. That is the part of investigation which is being carried by the
questions
education
emerging
minister,
regarding the driver, the state in which he was driving. Why was the school operational on a national holiday like Eid? The condition of the students who have been injured in the process. An update as to how they are doing, and of course also a question of drunken driving, highlighting the situation and the conditions when it comes to hiring staff for the school, and also the fitness certificate when it comes to the buses that are operating carrying little children to school. Thank you so much, Gurpreet, for getting us those details.